$70,000 Summerfield.
This is my deal solely. I acquired it and dispositioned it.
What do you see are the common mistakes?
Dial, out of 75, 100 dials a day at least.
What so far would you say you like the most about deal speed?
You can see how many buyers are on deal speed in that area, and that's huge.
Hey guys, this is Yuri again with iSpeed to Lead and Deal Speed. And I'm very excited actually to have this call with Danielle. She's one of the disposition experts in our industry. They're helping a lot of investors to close deals in any area of US. Yeah, nice to have you. How's it going?
Yeah, thanks, Yuri. I'm excited to be on and give some insight. Good day so far.
Yeah, do you mind sharing a bit more about like what you guys do for disposition right now? How did it all start? Why do you guys feel a need and on the market from the people about this? And how is it going so far?
So we really started focusing on dispositions in the last couple of months. I'm part of Titanium University with RJ Bates and just saw a huge need within the community. People are locking up deals. RJ and Cassie, they do an amazing job of helping to comp and get the right deals in the right areas and everything. But there just seemed to be a huge need for these people that are now becoming closers to be able to dispo the deals. So I just posted in the group, closed a couple for some of the students, and it kind of went from there. People were pulling on us to help dispo. We're still doing some of our own acquisitions with iSpeed to Lead as well. And I'm trying to fill that void so people can really learn the acquisitions piece of everything.
That's great. And let's go over that a little bit. So what do you see are the common mistakes from and I know not every deal will be, you can do dispo in eventually, but what do you see the common mistakes and maybe differences, what you guys do, or maybe somebody else will think, oh, I'll try to do it myself?
I think one of the most common mistakes is specifically for the dispo is not picking up the phone and just expecting the platforms to work for you. We've really tried everything. We have Deal Speed, we have Investor Lift. We can even pull lists off Investor Base, but just simply throwing them up there and hoping something magically is going to happen. It doesn't happen. You got to pick up the phone, start calling the buyers list, sending email campaigns, doing all the things, because just simply posting it doesn't move. It doesn't matter what you're using or where you're using. It doesn't move if you don't pick up the phone. And then just making sure it's a good deal. Good deals are going to sell. It doesn't matter the kind of market. It doesn't matter where the market is. If it's a good deal, it will sell.
And in terms of communication with cash buyers itself, what would you say is a little bit different about maybe your approach or maybe some less experienced people working with cash buyers and communicating all the right things? And personally, I would say I spoke to a lot of people about a lot of acquisition part stuff, even though, never closed deal in my life. I know a little bit of things, but disposition is like really gray area for me. So any knowledge any insights, I think are great.
I think one of the most important things is when you are getting a buyer on the phone, whether the deal is right for you or not, or right for them or not, get their buy box so that you can add them to your buyers list. And then you can upload your own buyers list into Deal Speed. So just really taking advantage of capturing all those buyers, even if it's not the right deal this time, it definitely could be down the road. That's happened with us a couple of times, actually. I've reached out to a couple buyers from Deal Speed for specifically some Houston deals, had really good conversations. They weren't interested in this specific deal, but did end up selling to one of them later on down the road. So just that connection is awesome for sure.
And speaking of buyers itself, because there are lots of cash buyers and everybody claims to have like millions of people, but who do you notice are the most common cash buyers? Like how many properties they typically would have? What's their typical picture of this cash buyer? Like what is the best cash buyer you feel like to work with?
So I think what we've had the most success in is looking at cash buyers that have bought in the last year, but also within like 15, 20 minutes of the deal itself. We've had some really good success with people that have only had 1 or 2 deals and they're just getting ramped up, but we've had some success with people that have had 50. So I don't think that any cash buyer is off limits. I think, they're just waiting for their next opportunity as well. So you have to be comfortable just calling, and, making sure that you know what they need, what they want, and eventually I'm sure you'll get something to them.
And just for me to clarify, because you already mentioned that, so you guys have like the highest tier with every disposition software, is that correct? So you guys
Yeah,
have cash buyers and play and like all those accesses and modes and all those type of things with every disposition platform. Is that correct, right?
we do. We have it all right now.
Okay. So and how do you, and because you mentioned it's very important to pick up the phone, do the calls, do you guys do still text people too? It's more like calls and emails from the platforms.
We will do text blast for buyers that have frequently bought in the area. So if it's like a VIP buyer or something like that, we will text them. But other than that, after they text us back and express some interest, we pick up the phone. We don't continue to text with them. We try to get them on the phone so that at the very least, if they're not interested in this deal, like I said, we can ask the questions about what they are looking for so that we can get them next time.
Okay. And in terms of like, and the reason why I asked, because you have all those big lists and big places, and I understand that the real estate world is smaller than it feels like sometimes. So, you mentioned you've got a buyer in Houston for some particular area, you can go to him all the time, and or like buyer in, I think you were mentioning buyer in Arizona, I think, or something like that. But in terms of how do you guys achieve like volume of like calls and just making sure you put like enough effort into finding the right cash buyer, because we know that leads are not perfect too. So here's another thing, like we know it's like hit or miss, some like maybe not relevant phone numbers, even though everybody's trying to clean it up, and some people are saying like, hey, I'm not actually cash buyer, just bought house one time or something like that. So how do you guys achieve this like volume? Do you use like dialers, or is it just pure muscle effort?
I have a team of two others that help with the disposition side. We don't use like mass dialers or anything like that. We do have a CRM, and we'll just dial out of, they're dialing, 75, 100 dials a day at least, depending on how many deals we have and how fresh they are. Texting a ton after we've made connection, but really dialing is our best bet.
Any insight, if you like to share, what would you say is the kind of hottest market right now where like cash buyers are, or maybe the market where you're like surprised, oh, like really, like everybody needs some deals there? Wait, did it help?
Yeah. So Texas has always been pretty good. Central Texas, Northern Texas. We do some in the Houston area as well. And I think we have one right now in Corpus Christi. Florida, all over Florida, just seems to be good almost all the time. Ohio, I think we're getting a little bit out of there just because of the weather's going to change. People aren't, really wanting to sell as much this time of the year. We're actively getting into Georgia. There's some good markets in Georgia. We do nationwide. Surprisingly, we got a JV offer for a deal in Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, and I had never really heard of it. Thought it was going to be difficult, but there's active buyers and deal speed. And I also posted on the Facebook groups asking for buy boxes, and so I got quite a few responses of people that are actively buying in the area. So now I can just collect that data and upload it into my deal speed and my other buyers lists and have it for later.
So for people who are watching us, if you can like summarize, I know, top three advice, like when you're doing dispo, what and you mentioned one of them, like use every available tool, but don't expect that the people just, you'll have a line of people wanting your deal. Another one, I would say, if you're hesitant, reach out to people that help you out, like your team. I think people underutilize that thing too. But any other suggestions you would say for people that maybe like new people? Hey, I got my first contract, or what's any suggestions?
Yeah, I think just what you said. If dispo isn't your thing yet, reach out. We're happy to JV, so we can give you our contact information. There's a lot of people out there that will JV and have buyers lists and everything already. Don't slow down your acquisitions just because dispositions isn't your thing yet. There's a ton of opportunity, a ton of education. Also, picking up the phone and dialing. If you don't dial and you expect, your $5,000 a month platform to just sell your deal based on pictures and whatnot, it's not going to happen. That's super, super rare on any platform. You got to pick up the phone, you got to search your buyers. And then the last thing, just make sure that when you are having these conversations, like I said, if this isn't the buyer for this deal, get their information, understand their buy box, connect with them regularly. So they'll pull on you and you can pull on them when you do have the deal.
And guys, we're going to leave Danielle's team contact information. So one of the things that they also mentioned to me, like in comparison to some of the bigger guys, because I know like a lot of some of the influencers do GV as well. But unlike them, first of all, I think Danielle's team will be like a little bit closer to you. They can also probably give some insights and share, like, and train you a little bit more, maybe pass some knowledge. But the second thing, if somebody is not aware, some of the big guys, they're not taking some deals with the potential assignment fees, like let's say under 20,000 or something like that. So it makes sense for them to put some work for you. So Danielle's team, they're fairly flexible in the assignment fees. Of course, don't come with like case like maybe 5K thing, but for both of us combined, but it definitely means that something is wrong on the acquisition side. But those are some of the things that Danielle shared, and it's how they support the team. So yeah, the contact information will be in description. And before I let you go, can you tell us what so far would you say you like the most about DealSpeed? Because this will be sponsored by DealSpeed, so we want to get some couple of good words about DealSpeed in particular. But again, we will emphasize on the importance of using every available resource for disposition. But again, guys, if you're watching us, the cool thing about DealSpeed, everything is included, very affordable, keeps growing. We keep adding databases. But what personally you would say you like the most so far about DealSpeed?
I just love how easy it is. I love that you can send your email campaigns. You can see how successful they were super quick. You can see who's looked at your deal. There's been times where I've seen somebody's gone back to my deal that I posted multiple times. So I'll hit them up and say like, hey, I saw you were looking at my deal. Did you have any other questions or anything like that? And that was another situation. They didn't buy that specific deal, but I did add them to my buyers list and got them a deal eventually. So that's awesome. You can't beat the price of DealSpeed, especially for the quality. It's so easy to just input an address and then come up with a list of buyers with numbers, emails, and everything like that. It's awesome. And I think what keeps me drawn and using it as my primary resource is when you're on iSpeed Delete, if you're on the computer version, you can see how many buyers are on DealSpeed in that area. And that's huge. Like if it's a new area to me and I don't know how active it is, I can see in like 5 seconds what DealSpeed has to offer in that area. So that's super cool. And I like that part for sure.
What's the best deal you got so far with DealSpeed?
I have one right now that is supposed to close on the 15th, so on Friday, and it's a $70,000 assignment right now. So
$70,000 assignment fee. Okay, is that GV or is it your deal?
This is my deal solely. I acquired it and dispositioned it. So I've been working this one since August, but we're right here at the finish line. So.
No, that's awesome. Nice to meet you. And I know you have a lot of success with iSpeed Delete, but we're going to talk about this later. I hope it helps. I know some people requested a lot of videos about disposition. We're also bringing you extra source. I think it's very underutilized thing of using other people to get the stuff done. Again, we're not here in the business to just make calls or just try to keep everything to ourselves. Time is valuable, and make sure to reach out. If you have somebody who can help you out and you're confident in them, it's good. If not, Danielle's team will be able to help you out. They have every available platform, including DealSpeed, including every expensive one that you probably don't want to pay. But those are all effective. So those can be effective and ineffective, but it matters what you guys do. And Danielle, nice to have you here. Let's keep in touch, and guys, to see you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Yuri.
Take care.
Bye.